and welcome to another episode of the Kingswell Conversations, conversations with heart that are shaping foster and adoption across Virginia and around the world. And I am really happy to be joined on our next episode with the fabulous Richard Kingswell himself, CEO of Foster VA and Extra Special Parents in Virginia. Richard, thank you for joining me today.
My pleasure. Thank you, Nikki.
So, are you ready for today's question?
What are you going to spring on me today? Go on then.
Right. As always, I'm going to read it out because I have them here in front of me. And I know that if I'll try and memorize it, I'm going to mess it up. So today's question is, how do agencies support foster parents through secondary trauma and emotional fatigue? Can we draw on all your extensive knowledge and help answer that for me, please? Can
we go to an easier question?
Not today. You know, I don't want to give you the easy one. So tell me, how do you have, we're just celebrating a 20-year anniversary
of
Extra Special Parents. So that means that you have extensive knowledge. There is proof there. You've been around a long time. How do you foster parents? How do you support them going through secondary trauma and emotional fatigue?
Well, a lot of it goes down to education of understanding the journey of being a foster parent. A foster parent is going to be exposed to trauma of the children in their homes and may bump into their own trauma that they didn't know, that they buried it so well that they didn't know it was there because it's something from their childhood and the child triggered it. So being very careful when you're working with trauma, you have to really understand that any time in your journey, it can just pop up and get you. Anybody that's lost a parent, a loved one, and things like that, you'll have a smell or something like that that just triggers it. And so educating the parents about that is very, very important to understand that this is a normal part of the journey. And so the most important part of being strong in this journey is to have resilience with your friends, family, and get them to support you. So that's the first round that we try and teach them. Where is your support structure? Who is your support structure, and how can you access them? Because a crisis, a trauma, a memory doesn't know when it's going to hit you, sort of thing. So who do you have accessibility to? So very important to, when you start your foster parent journey, and our team will talk to you about that, understand who is your support network. So that is on the personal friends direction. Then you've got the professional network that you can work with. So let's talk about foster care and being a resource parent and understanding the journey that you're going to go through. So in Extra Special Parents, you'll have a clinical team that looks after the child, but also looks after you and your family and make sure your paperwork's done and all this sort of thing. But they're also there as a sounding board. Am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? This made me mad. This made me upset. I was crying when I went to bed last night. This can't be good. You can talk to the professionals at Foster VA and Extra Special Parents to really get a good understanding of, you have a professional network that is trying to engulf you. This is not a journey by yourself. You have to walk with a team, and the team is there to look after your mental health, well-being, your trauma bumps and bruises, and help you with that. So I would say that was the second pillar of the chair. The third one is your decision to maybe go and get therapy and have a therapist on call. It won't be a regular need, but have someone that you've got access to, that you can really have a chat to and bare your soul to, someone that you know is totally in your corner, in privacy, can talk about things that you just don't want to be in more of a public domain. And so having a therapist, having a counselor, someone that has been professionally trained can be a great resource for some parents, maybe who've experienced therapy in the past and is like, yep, that's a really good way to deal with things, sort of thing. And let me not just cover it with Band-Aids, but really dig into what the injury is, sort of thing. So my team won't go deep and diving and become your therapist. That's not their role. So that third tier is so important to really have that resilience so that you can look after yourself, because you cannot look after our children if you can't look after yourself. So we want to look after you, and you need to have the drive to look after yourself. And if that's an external source, a family source, or a professional resource, those are the ones that make a huge difference.
When you're actually working with potential parents, you know, we've talked in the past about the home study, about the meeting, about the initial contact. How much of somebody's background do you need to know, or do you end up knowing? Like, because obviously if people have got their own trauma journey or their own things that they've gone through in their life that could be relevant to the journey they're embarking on or could be impactful, how much of that information are you required to know, or how much is a parent required to disclose?
I think the difference wording is very important here. The desire is to know as much as we possibly can. The required is what you wish to tell us. We don't have lie detectors in home studies. If you don't want to tell us, we won't know about it. But if you pass on the information, we can be ready for it. We can give you guidance. We can give you support. I always tell my staff in sort of a licensing world, it's the cover-up that will kill you, not the incident. So whatever your incident is in your life, it's not going to kill you. It's going to be okay. But if we don't know about it and you try and cover it up and we bump into it, then that can be much more problematic for your own mental health and the mental health of the child you're looking after. So the more you disclose, if that's an affair that you've had in the past, if it's a trauma, an abusive parent, that you went through foster care yourself, all these are important parts of your orchestra of life. And your orchestra is important to make a beautiful person like yourself. And so let's talk about it, but you're not required to tell us anything, but we desire to know.
And are there any sort of triggers that can happen as a foster parent when fostering a child that maybe not the big triggers, but in your experience, ones that you might not have expected? A child does something really simple and actually that
100%.
triggers something, you know, it doesn't need to be literally match for match triggering of a trauma, but something really basic. Are there any things that you can think of that can be just the small things you don't expect?
It can just be a word that maybe a uncaring guardian parent, someone said to you when you were younger, like, I don't like the word stupid. I think because I grew up in a special ed environment, being dyslexic, people labeling me as stupid, and it's like, I'm not stupid. I can play chess really well, and I can talk with adults really well, and I can build things really well. I just can't spell well. That doesn't make me stupid. So when someone uses stupid in a conversation, I will get very prickly with it, and I'll protect the person who's being called stupid, and I'll protect the person and educate the person that this is a very negative word. So you wouldn't know you had that word unless you've done a lot of exploring of yourself and your own ability. So I really do feel that I can't give you a list of things, but they can be as small as that. And you won't be ready for them, and that's okay. You don't have to be ready for every ambush of your emotional psyche. It's all about where you get the support, where you go and find the support, and brave enough to access the support.
And I think you've also mentioned in the past when we've done these that you're not looking for foster parents who have had perfect lives.
Oh no. In fact, the more creative your life is probably the better journey, because our children have had creative lives, and they've had creative lives that they've survived, they've worked through, they put in defenses and prickliness and attachments and all the other diagnoses that you can give a child at their young age, sort of thing. So yeah, it's a journey.
Oh, well, there you go. See, you gave us some great feedback on that question. That's amazing. Thank you so much indeed. And I hope that helped wherever you are in the world, if that is something that you've been thinking about yourself around secondary trauma and about how regulating emotions and triggers and things like that. I hope that helped you. If you'd like to hang out with Richard a bit more, you can find him over on LinkedIn at Richard Kingswell. If you would like to find more about foster VA or extra special parents, who, as we mentioned, are celebrating their 20th anniversary this year, you can find both of them on the internet at fosterva.org or espva.org. And if you go to Foster VA, you can also pick up Richard's free 45-page guide, which is the comprehensive guide to fostering and adoption in Virginia. Richard, let's get back soon and do another question, but thank you so much for today.
Thank you, Nikki. It's always a pleasure.
And thank you wherever you are in the world. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care now. Bye-bye.